If you are an international student in the United States, stop scrolling for the next few minutes because DHS has announced a major change that could affect how F-1 students stay in the United States. After seeing the discussions online, I noticed that a lot of students are confused and worried about what this change actually means. Some people are saying this completely changes the future of international students in America, while others are sharing information without fully understanding what the regulation actually says. So in this video, I want to simplify everything and explain what exactly changed, how does this affect F-1 students, what should current students actually be concerned about, and what should you do moving forward. The information in this video is based on the analysis published by an immigration law firm. I'm providing the link to the original article in the description so you can read the source yourself and understand the details directly. Before understanding the new DHS changes, we first need to understand how the F-1 visa system worked before. Previously, most F-1 students were admitted to the United States under something called duration of status, also known as D/S. Under the system, F-1 students did not have a fixed end date for their stay in the United States. Instead, their stay was connected to their student status. As long as students continued their studies and maintained their F-1 status, they could remain in the United States based on the duration of their academic program. For example, if a student was enrolled in a 4-year undergraduate program, their stay was connected to completing that program while maintaining their F-1 status. The main idea behind the duration of status system was that students were not given a specific expiration date for their stay. Their stay was tied to their academic program. The recent DHS update changes this approach. If you are already an F-1 student in the United States, how does this change affect you? The impact depends on your situation. The new rule will become effective 60 days after it is published in the Federal Register. The final rule was published on July 17, 2026, meaning the change take effect in September 2026. If you are already inside the United States and you do not plan to leave the country, you may continue under the existing duration of status framework during the transition period. However, if you leave the United States and return after the new rule takes effect, you may be admitted under the new fixed duration admission period system instead of the previous duration of status system. This is one of the biggest points current international students need to understand. A student who remains inside the United States and a student who leaves and re-enters the United States may not necessarily follow the same exact rules after the transition happens. Another major change is related to extending your stay. Previously, many F-1 related extensions were handled through the university's International Student Office and the designated school official, also known as the DSO. But under the new system, students who need additional time beyond their admission period may need to file an extension request with the USCIS. This means the process could now involve additional paperwork, government review, and a more formal approval process. So, students who think they may need extra time to complete their program should plan much earlier instead of waiting until the last moment. Another important change is post-completion grace period. Previously, F-1 students generally had 60-day grace period after completing their program or authorized practical training. Under the new rule, this changes to a 30-day grace period for students admitted under the new fixed admission period system. This creates a transition where two groups of F-1 students may have two different timelines. Students who are still under the previous duration of status system may continue following the previous rule. Students who enter under the new fixed duration admission period system will follow the new 30-day grace period. So even though both students have an F-1 visa, the rules that apply to them can be different depending on when and how they were admitted. Now let's talk about another major change that students need to understand. This rule also changes how F-1 students can change their academic plans after coming to the United States. For undergraduate students, there is now a restriction during the first academic year of your program. If you are admitted for a bachelor's degree, you generally cannot transfer to another university or change your educational objective, which includes changing your major or educational level during your first academic year. The only exception is if SEVP authorizes it because of extenuating circumstances. So if you come to the United States for a bachelor's degree, your first year becomes very important because you are expected to continue the program and the academic objectives that you were originally admitted for. After completing your first academic year, these restrictions become less strict for undergraduate students. For graduate students, the rules are even stricter. If you are enrolled in a master's or doctoral program, you cannot change your educational objective during your program. This means you cannot simply switch your major or move to another educational level while continuing under F-1 status. Graduate students also cannot transfer to another institution during their program unless SEVP authorizes an exception. So, unlike undergraduate students, graduate students have much less flexibility once they start their program. Another important change is related to moving to another degree level. Previously, some students used to continue their F-1 status by enrolling in another program at same level or even a lower level. For example, a student who completed a master's degree could enroll in another master's program. A student who completed a bachelor's degree could sometimes enroll in another bachelor's or lower level programs. But under this new rule, that strategy will no longer be available for students who complete a program after September 15, 2026. The regulation says that after completing a program at one educational level, a student cannot maintain or receive F-1 status through another program at the same or lower educational level. Now let's address another important question that many international students have. Is OPT or STEM OPT being cancelled because of this new rule? The answer is no. This regulation does not cancel OPT or STEM OPT. Students who are eligible for OPT or STEM OPT can still apply for it and continue using these programs under the requirements set by the DHS. The major change is related to the admission period and additional paperwork that may be required in certain situations. Another common misunderstanding is about the 4-year limit. Some students think this means after 4 years I have to leave the United States. This is not what this rule actually says. The 4-year period is the maximum period for one admission or extension period. If your academic program requires more time, you may still request an extension by following the new process and meeting the requirements. For example, some programs, such as longer graduate programs, may require additional time to complete. In those situations, students are not automatically forced to leave after completing the 4 years. They can request additional time if they qualify under the new extension rules. There are still many smaller details and specific situations that I could not cover in this video because the regulation is very detailed and the video would become extremely long. If you want to understand all the changes and how they may apply to your specific situation, I highly recommend reading the original article from the immigration firm. I have provided the link in the description so you can go through the complete information directly from the source. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.